Those who learn Portuguese, please comment how you learned it and how fast it took. So I'm trying to learn Portuguese as fast as possible after reading a book on ultra learning. Ultra learning. Wow. Ultra learning parece impressionante. I want to ultra learn. Want to learn Portuguese, or are you here just to look at the pet platypus? Then try this course. I made it. In it, I explain the basics of the language and also the really complicated things, like when to use the imperfect instead of the perfect, the difference between para and por, or the 700 different meanings of the verb ficar. I also included more things for you, like a section to improve your comprehension with text to read, audio to listen to, or videos to watch. Tired of courses that copy school textbooks, pretend they are Duolingo, or are just overpriced ego trips for their authors? Give this one a go! It's full of clear and straight to the point explanations of how the language works, with lots of audio examples. And every subscription gets a free Ronaldo bust. Join now! Por favor. I'm trying to learn the best ways from people that have already learned and see if there is anything in common. Pela minha experiência pessoal, a melhor maneira de aprender português é nascer em Portugal, ou pelo menos ter pais portugueses, e aprender português quando és bebê. É a melhor forma de aprender português. Se não conseguires isso, podes sempre estudar o que é que as pessoas dizem. How I learned Portuguese. Uau! Bem! Ok, eu vou ler isto tudo e o stream agora vai ter mais 3 horas, só por causa disto. Started learning 1 year before a planned 3-week holiday to Portugal with my family. I wanted to at least be able to get by in tourist situations there. I started Pimsleur European Portuguese and Michel Thomas Portuguese, both good for speaking. Started Assimile le Portugais, good for reading and listening and passive knowledge. Messed about on memorized Portuguese. In total, I did 670 words. Was one of those words pudim? If it wasn't, you wasted your time. Read Susana Moraes A2 Reader, Uma Cidadela Misteriosa. Watched occasional episodes of Porquinha Peppa. Both the reader and Peppa Pig felt hard at this stage. At the 3-month mark, I did a 1-week course in Portugal. Was first put into A1, but then moved into A2. I lacked typical topical é difícil de dizer. Typical topical knowledge you'd get from a textbook, like introductions, talking about myself, etc., but I picked it up quickly. Bought the graphic novel in Portuguese and read it over the holiday twice. Once, reading without stopping, twice, reading and looking up words. I messed this up, but I'm not going back. Stranger Things, o outro lado. The story was already familiar to me. Deve ser possível. Eu também nunca aprendi português com apps. Já tento aprender várias línguas com apps. Acho que é possível. As pessoas muitas vezes instalam o Memrise ou vão a um site e pensam, ok, 2 meses e vou ser fluente em português. E depois desiludem-se, porque isso não é possível, não é? Em 2 meses conseguem pronunciar mais ou menos, se faz favor. Sim, então acho que talvez o principal motivo para as pessoas desistirem de aprender português serão expectativas que não correspondem à dificuldade de aprender português ou outra língua qualquer. As pessoas querem um comprimido, não é? Português, num comprimido. Tomas o comprimido e... olá, bom dia, como está? Ficas a falar português. Why is everything about learning fast? Just take your time and have fun with it. Perfeito. Especially with European Portuguese. Isn't, like eventually getting around to stuff like a core tenet of Portuguese culture. Eventually getting around to stuff. Talvez. I mean, no disrespect. I'm sure the Portuguese people have kind hearts. I don't. Work hard. And are skilled at their various crafts. But I get the impression that deadlines aren't exactly their things because they're lazy. São preguiçosos e irresponsáveis. Ace. But I mean no disrespect, but you're lazy. Obrigado, Michael Mueller. Whenever I follow up on people that have learned the language in a short amount of time, it seems that their secret was that they worked really freaking hard. Exatamente. They studied with discipline, long days, blah blah blah. Anyway, my advice is probably crap, but I'll give it anyway. Because I'm an old white guy. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. No? Irrelevant. And that's how we cling to our eroding relevance and influence. Okay. I'd say figure out what aspect of learning really maintains your interest and focus on that. Then balance that out with the other aspects as best as you can. Do that as intensely as you can without burning yourself out, blah, 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 blah. Me, I dig reading, writing, and the grammar stuff. I hate listening and speaking. Yeah. You love writing, I can see that. It makes me feel like an idiot. E ninguém quer parecer idiota, não é? I want to be able to do that. To be an idiot or... Oh, to listen and speak, okay. But I'm mostly doing the fun stuff for now, like grammar, and hoping that it'll make the listening and speaking easier later when I have some vocabulary and grammar. But that's my lesson plan for learning in a way that's fun and hopefully sustainable for me. Obrigado por isto. I'm basically fluent after 1 week of study, due thanks to Anki and other hard study. You could probably do it in 5 days if you're more focused. Troll.